What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to a brand new iRated Teams video. It is, of course, Sunday, 10 AM, meaning let's get straight into the video. For cheap, fast, and reliable FIFA 20 Ultimate Team coins, check out u7buy.com and use code HABER to get yourself 5% off all of your orders. Briefly, before we get into it, if you guys are new to the series or you are maybe not as clued in as other people, the way this series works is we record it every single week. We do 2 episodes a week. They both air on Sunday and Wednesday, 10 AM on Sunday, 4 PM on Wednesday. To be involved in the series, send me a picture of your team, a HD screenshot, whether that be from your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Elgato, or your PC, whichever one works best for you. Please, no companion app, no web app, no footbin, and no pictures from the phone. Please, HD screenshots, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I just love the quality of my videos being the best it possibly can be. And if you play 2 different formations, for example, as you see, Rob is playing 2 different formations, then send me a picture of your team as it starts and what it plays in game as well, just to help me out with your team and sort of depicting it and things like that. Give me a brief description of your team, how many coins you got, who's tradable, who's untradeable, and use the hashtag Itshaber. That's the most important thing. Tweet it to me using the hashtag Itshaber. As you see at the top, I searched the hashtag in because the way Twitter works is the easiest way to actually find specific tweets is by using a hashtag. So please use the hashtag Itshaber. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. We are going to start with Arthur's team. Now he's got Ramos, Gomez, Dembele, Ben Yedder, and Mendy's tradable versions, and the untradeable cards are the rest of them. He's got no coins and no idea what to do next. Love the vids. Well, thank you very much, man. And yeah, where do you go next? I mean, so obvious point, I'm not a big fan of Balassi. One thing you could possibly do is you could use custom tactics to change up what you play. You could, for example, start in a different formation. You could get that. You could grind towards that SBC Battaglia card at centre mid, and then play Acuna over there up as a left wing. Now, if you change your formation in game to possibly like a 4-3-3 brackets 2, it'll then allow you for Battaglia to play as your left DM, and he's staying on full chemistry because he's got the perfect link to Acuna. And then it will allow you over at the right CDM spot to change up what you're doing. For example, you've got a perfect link to Trent. You could go maybe like a Werner at right CDM. At right wing, you could go with, like, for example, Serge Gnabry. And then, because you've already got Battaglia and Acuna as 2 centre mids, and you've got your third centre mid being Guardiola, your striker can be literally anyone that gets full chemistry. So, you know, you've got Gnabry over there at right wing. You can go with the likes of Lewandowski card, and that would help you, in my opinion, spice this team up. I'm a big fan of Dembele, don't get me wrong. I didn't like Pogba very much this year at all. I didn't like Inaki Williams when I used him. I still have him in the club, and I didn't like him at all. For me, the way that I personally play the game is I like pace and power, but the likes of Inaki Williams don't have the shooting that I like. Now, I would much prefer using maybe a little bit of a slower player with better shooting than I would using an Inaki Williams with loads of pace and not being able to shoot. Shooting composure is massive for me with strikers. And Pogba, I like agility and balance as a centre mid and a CDM. I used Hullet for a long time. Didn't get along with him very much because he was too big. And I know a lot of people love Hullet, but for me, using big tall players, it's not my forte. I mean, you could also alternatively just get in Kante. Kante's fantastic, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to try and change up the team a little bit and have a little bit of fun with it. Looking at your bench, though, you've got some really solid players. Obviously, Ryan Kent, love that. You've got a normal Werner there. Now, obviously, the 89 Player of the Month just came out, which, in my opinion, is actually quite a good value SBC. If I'm not mistaken, he's around the 300k mark, unless that was a really off first draft price. About 340k for this card, in my opinion, is actually good value. 97 pace, 88 dribbling, 90 shooting. He's got really good in-game stats. He's got the agility and balance that you need. He's got, unfortunately, only 79 composure, which is very, very disappointing. But it's not the worst. I think anything over 75 is not bad. It's disappointing it's not in the 80s, though. It kind of ruins this whole section of his dribbling and stuff. 95 finishing is great. He's got a 4-star weak foot. 3-star skills isn't great, but I've used Butra a lot this year, and 3-star skills, as long as you can do the heel-to-heel with a fake shot, and you can do, for example, I can't remember what the skill move's called, when you like flick it between your legs and go a different way, which you can do with 3-star skills. It's not too bad. Anyway, we're waffling at this point. Going on to Rob's team now. Second one is in-game. I have 30,000 coins. Only Son, Kante, Sanchez, and Ben Yedder are tradable. Happy to sell players. Keep up the good work. Hey, let's do it, boss. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. And my phone's just vibrating in the distance. I apologize if you can hear that. I hate it when, for some reason, sometimes I believe it's Xbox. I'm not entirely sure if it's just Xbox, but it botches the quality for some reason, and it looks like super blurry. We'll go with it anyway. I like what you're doing with Shari at CDM. I played against someone in Weekend League with Shari at CDM, and he rinsed me. In my opinion, I would say play Sanchez as a cam as opposed to a striker. Now, the only disappointing thing is, and it might be a case of getting rid of Sanchez in general, Hugo Sanchez. So you're using his 89 version, I think. 78 passing isn't great for a cam, but also he's got 58 composure. It's abysmal, in my opinion. 3-star skills on weak foot. 3-star weak foot for me sometimes it's very bad, especially for left-footed players, and it is super weird, but I feel like I cater my play to right-footed players. Personally, though, I don't think this card would be a very good card. Some people seem to like him, but for me, I just don't think it would be amazing. I would say Marcel up top at striker, at right striker, and then for your left cam, I would say with the 470,000 coins that you just got, or 440k on Xbox, I would say try and get the best version of Hadji. I really enjoyed this card this year. I've used him both in draft and in rivals and in weekend league and stuff like that. If you can scrape towards this card, I would go for it. I think he'd be a much better cam, much well-rounded stats, really, really good in-game stats, and he's got 82 stamina as well, which is pretty good for a cam, and I think your team will be massively, massively improved. Son, for some reason, especially in bad gameplay, is just ridiculous. The card is nuts. He tears me a new one all the time. So, yeah, Son's definitely a good shout. Anyway, we're going on to Ornstein now. He's got 500,000 coins. Both icons are untradeable. Okay, I'm guessing you've gone with icon swaps Blanc and Pep Guardiola, which I respect. I do respect people that grind the game. For me, and I tweeted out about this earlier, and I'm not going to take up much more of the video talking about this. For me, icon swaps is a bit of a scam. I think that, and the reason why I say that is I know already people are going to be commenting about it. So for me, it's amazing the concept of being able to grind towards players. I'm a big fan of that, and I think it's great what EA are doing. However, I'm not a fan that EA limit the icons we get to choose from to a small batch, and I'm also not a fan of EA choosing how long it takes us. We should be able to complete all 24 icon tokens as quickly as we possibly want to. For example, if you've got a full week to grind, you should be able to grind all 24 tokens and get that Prime Messian, or get that baby Vieira, or get that baby Dino within literally a week. We shouldn't have to wait 2, 3, 4 months. It's ridiculous in my opinion. I wish that EA worked with the concept, and also I think that it makes a lot of the worser icons completely invaluable and useless. For example, the likes of Baby Layman. He's a 60,000 coin icon now. No one cares about Layman anymore. No one's going to use him in game. If we had an icon SBC where we could throw him into it and get a 100k pack back, not only would it actually up the value of Layman to maybe 150, 200k, but it also would help massively with just the lower end icons we get. I'm so nervous about doing a base icon SBC these days because I've got so many great base icons from the SBC that I'm scared about re-getting another one of them, you know? And then he's completely useless and just can submit him into like a gold upgrade or something if there's no SBCs out. So anyway, I'm sorry for ranting so much. I do agree it's a great concept. I just think it's executed poorly. Anyway, onto his team. The 4-2-1-2 narrow, I'm really trying to get into it. I'm liking how it plays. I need to figure out my tactics. If you guys use this, please let me know just your custom tactics and sort of what you use in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. I like this. One thing I would say is I play Blanc as the right centre mid. Blanc has way better stats going forward than Pep Guardiola does. This card actually has really, really cool stats going forward. He's got good dribbling. He's got really good shooting. This card's shot is ridiculous for some reason. It's just so good. He's got better passing, better physical, and he's faster. In my opinion, I think he'd be better as the right centre mid here, and Pep Guardiola is a lone CDM. And I think that Alan's maybe a bit too defensive as a midfield. I think that maybe you could go with who do I think would be a good shout here? Maybe like a Fabian or a Carlos Alberto or someone like that from the City. I would get the strong link with Pep Guardiola there. I think he might be a better shout as a centre mid, just a little bit more attacking prowess rather than going with Alan. Alternatively, you could play Blanc at cam and then go with a French left centre mid. I know this is a bit hypocritical because I just talked bad about Pogba, but If you like 5-star skillers going forward, maybe Pogba's a good shout for you. I think Pogba would be decent as a box-to-box. I don't think I'd use him as a CDM. As a box-to-box, I think he'd be pretty good. But there's a few different options you could go with there. I would say probably maybe getting rid of Alan and going with someone a little bit more attacking, because I know Alan's got 4-star, 4-star, and I know he's got decent dribbling, but I think he's, with the medium-high work rates, a bit too defensive-minded for a midfield as defensive as that is. Anyway, we're going on to Tentacles. Apologies if I got that name wrong. Who should I add? I've got 100,000 coins. I don't know if I got any Team of the Year nominee De Jong is worth. I don't know if getting Team of the Year nominee De Jong is worth it with a shadow over the norm with a shadow. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I see why you'd go with him. He's definitely a shoo-in for that position. Alternatively, you don't need a link to either Wijnaldum or Promes. Now, if you've only sent me one team, but if you're playing, for example, this formation in game, which is something a lot of people tend to do, you could actually go with somebody else there that's maybe got a little bit more attacking intent. Now, thinking about the options you've got from the Liga, Modric might not be a bad shout. Who else might not be a bad shout? Scream, Cruz might not be a bad shout. Scream, James Rodriguez also might not be a bad shout there. Now, obviously, that is depending on how much that Scream James actually goes for. How much is he? 200k. I didn't realize he was that expensive. My apologies. Maybe Cruz is the better shout for you. I know they're both 200k. I thought these cards were like 80, 90k. I'm so out of touch. I do apologize. With 100k, I guess going with normal De Jong with a shadow and saving your coins for one of those screen cards might not be a bad shout. But the team's nice though. I like the way the team's built. I see you've got off-chem Hernandez over here. I'm thinking, is there a way you can get him on chemistry? I don't think there is, unless you go with a different right back, which I don't recommend because you've obviously got the SBC version. It's a really good card as well. So I feel it. It's a good team though. I think the team is definitely well balanced. I love the fact that everyone's got Ryan Kent on the bench. It's hilarious. Play the same formation in game. Have about 100,000 coins to spend. Willing to grind for icon swaps, and the team is untradeable except Marcelo. Yep, who's that then? I can't. I'm sorry, mate. I literally cannot see it. I do apologise, my friend. I appreciate the effort, but unfortunately, I cannot see it. Anyway, we're going with Cara's team. 220,000 coins for upgrades. Only Rijkaard tradable. Gedson is going to be updated to Spurs. Interesting. That'll be pretty cool. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I see what you're doing here with the strong link with Gedson. Now, what would I do with this? How many coins did you say you had again? 220,000 coins. Not a fan of Rijkaard. I know he's untradeable. Not a fan of him. I really don't like him. Now, I'd keep him for now just because you haven't got enough coins for a big upgrade. I would say I like Sanchez up top. I think that's actually pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. I like what you're doing with Ziyech as well. Good question. Good question. What would I do? I would start saving until you can afford, or grind icon swaps until you can either get yourself that baby Blanc or Seedorf, whichever one you prefer, or you can afford maybe a version of Nakata. Might not be a bad shout. Now, you are playing with a CDM. Nakata's an offensive CDM. I'm looking at the way you're playing. Now, Nakata, in my opinion, and people might not like me saying this, but this card, and this card, any of them really, all of them are very, very good cards in game. They're the most overlooked icons in the game. I really actually enjoyed using this card. Looking at his defensive stats, 75 interceptions is really good. I think this one's got the better defensive stats though. He's got 78 interceptions. Not the worst in tackling. You can use, for example, maybe like a shadow and get massive improvements on his defensiveness. Or you can use, for example, an anchor. Where is it? An anchor there gets him really, really good improvements over here on defending. So I would say maybe look to get this card because I see you're playing quite an offensive formation, quite an offensive team, sorry, with Gedson being quite an offensive CDM over here. So if you're looking for, offensive as CDM, it might not be a bad shout there. Moving on now, we've got Noah Plunkett's team. I've got 160,000 coins to upgrade. Untradeables are Mane, Lloris, Zanetti in the bench doing icon swaps. Okay. This is so bright. I have no idea what happened. But hey, I'm not complaining. I like brightness. So you're doing icon swaps. I would say get yourself Hierro over Socrates and get yourself Seedorf over Fabinho. I mean, that's a win right now. everyone else is great for their position. I mean, actually, you could keep Fabinho and get yourself Raul over Firmino. Both wouldn't be, whichever one you think you prefer, to be honest. I think Raul's less tokens, so save yourself more time and get yourself Raul would be a good shout. But apart from that, it's a nice team. Very nice team. I like it. Now it's time for Kyle's team. He's got 100,000 coins for upgrades. He don't know what he can do to get 18 swaps. Don't know what to do. Can get another 18 swaps. Might get a Dharma Traore. Thank you, bro. Love the vids. All right. I'm going to sound like a maniac right now, and I apologize if I do. Okay, first of all, you got so many plays off chemistry. I'm second-guessing what I was about to say. I was about to say, be a madman, get the mid-icon pack with 18 tokens. If you're feeling it, right? If you're feeling spicy, if you're feeling like maybe pulling the trigger and going for it, it might not be the worst idea. Honestly, I'm a bit of a psycho, to be honest. With this team, I think first of all, you want to get yourself a better left back. Now, you said you have 100,000 coins. I think that I'm not entirely sure how much the Team of the Year nominee version of this card is. Can you afford it? It's a bit too expensive. What about Alex Tellez? He just has an inform, doesn't he? I would maybe go with Alex Tellez then. Get yourself Alex Tellez over there at left back. Good card. Honestly, really enjoyed him. I would then say I'm not the biggest fan of Thiago Silva. I see why you've got him. I'm seeing if you can possibly get Ben Yedder in on chemistry. What can you do here to get better chemistry? The team, by the way, in game looks really good. It's just about getting Battaglia and Ben Yedder on chemistry. We've sorted out your left side now. What formation could you play that would help you out with chem is the question. If any, that is, obviously. I'll tell you what you could do. I'll tell you what we could do. What you could do here, I'm going to build it for you. So I'm going to help you out here. In fact, there's no point in building it. You're going to understand what I'm saying. I go a 4-5-1. I'm an idiot. I just thought about your left side. I was going to say go a 4-5-1 and then play your two icons at cams and then Ben Yedder up top. That doesn't really help, actually. I see the predicament you're in because obviously untradeable cards and things like that. Yeah, I would say upgrade your left back to Alex Tellez, and then I'd probably just wait until you can get an icon. See what you get from the mid-icon pack to it. Maybe either replace Battaglia or Ben Yedder. Hopefully you get an attacker or a good midfielder. In my opinion, there's so many good mid-icons that it's actually a good gamble in my opinion. There's some great mid icons you can get. So if I grinded icon swaps, I really would go and get the mid icon pack. That's a promise. But this team's really cool though. I like this team a lot. I think it's actually a really good team. I think you got great plays in their positions. You got great options everywhere. Really, really solid. Big fan of it. Anyway, we're going to go with Call Me DM and then Sam's going to end the episode there. So I've currently got 90,000 coins, which I'll use on Inform Nabry. Everyone's tradable except Plier and Ziyech, Smalling, Caceres. What could I do next? Upgrade and what formation I play in game? Willing to grind icon swaps. Any upgrades, let me know. Got you, bro. So, mate, I'm struggling to read today, by the way. I see what you're going for. Don't really understand this situation here. I mean, if you're really trying to get Smalling on chemistry, best thing you can do here, to be honest, is get yourself the goalie from Roma. I wouldn't bother using Pellegrini, to be honest. I see what you're doing for chemistry and things like that. I would say get the goalie from Roma, get the strong link with Smalling, and then grind icon swaps and get yourself Seedorf over here for midfield. That will sort out your chemistry problem over here. Get a full chemistry on him, and unfortunately won't get you full chem on Ziyech, but we'll get you pretty close. I like this though. Obviously, do the City at SBC as you go along. Maybe grind it. Maybe do like 1 or 2 teams per like rewards and things like that. If you get coins in there, eventually you'll get the SBC Dalbert. I've got the hiccups right now. Eventually you get the SBC Dalbert, and that'll be like an endgame left back for you. But I like this a lot. I'm just waiting until we get a good right back from the Bundesliga to rival Klosterman. I know we've had Mbabu, but I mean a German one or a Bayern one. I'm hoping we get like a flashback Kimmich or something. That'd be really, really cool in my opinion. So fingers crossed, definitely. But no, that team is actually really nice. I like that team. A really cool team. I respect it. Good team. Very different. Very, very cool. Very unique in my opinion. And we're going to end it off on Sam's team. I've got 30,000 coins for upgrade, but I'm willing to sell people. Bernardo Silva, Moore, and the bench are untradeable. Nice team. I like the implementation of the icons. I hated this card though. I really, really, really hated this card down here. This Van der Sar was awful for me. He let in everything. He was a donkey. I would say, with your coins, how many coins do you say you had? You have 30k. Sell Van der Sar and get yourself a different icon goalie, whichever one takes your fancy. In my opinion, I hated that card. I respect more at CDM, to be fair. It's pretty cool. Not entirely sure about Bernardo Silva off chem. I see why he's off chem, though. You could try to... Yeah, you could. I mean, you could try and play a different formation. For example, a 4-3-3-4. And then you could play Kante, Essien, and then get yourself a new centre mid. Or a cam. Or you could play a 4-3-3. No, I'm trying to think which one would be best to get. And what I'm trying to do, basically, is get yourself a link with Bernardo Silva, with Kyle Walker over here at right back, because I didn't like Inform Trent. If I have a look at Squad Builder real quick and see what... I'm pretty sure the false 9 would work and actually get you the chemistry whilst keeping the CDM. Yes, it would. I would say play the false 9 and then get yourself Kyle Walker for right back to get the link with Bernardo Silva, get him on full chemistry as well. But no, I like that team. That team is definitely different. I've not seen a team use more at CDM before. And actually have like tradable Maldini and tradable Essien and things like that. I respect it. It's a good team. So, no, it's a decent team. I would definitely say try and get Bernardo Silva on chem at all costs, all possibility. But thank you all for watching this episode. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like down below. Again, apologies if my reading is terrible. I don't know what's happened to me over the last like 3 weeks. Maybe I need to try and talk slower, and I will be able to read better. But I appreciate all the support on the episodes and the series and stuff like that. You guys are absolutely dope. I want to think about cool things for the background, so let me know if you have any cool ideas for my background. And apart from that, I just thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you later.